Today, by this video, let us understand what is a current assets in credit appraisal and the care to be taken while classifying an item as current asset in credit appraisal. Companies present the balance sheet as per the Companies Act 2013. The sequences in which various items of balance sheet are presented and the assumptions made based on which they are presented do not meet the requirement of a banker in credit appraisal. To facilitate proper analysis, banks reclassify the items of balance sheet using a different format. Asset side of balance sheet are divided into four segments such as current assets, fixed assets, non-current assets, and intangible assets. Let us understand what is meant by current assets and the items which are eligible to be included under the head current assets while undertaking credit appraisal. Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013 says that an asset shall be classified as current asset when it satisfies any of the following criteria. A. It is expected to be realized in or is intended for sale or consumption in the company's normal operating cycle. B. It is held primarily for the purpose of being traded. C. It is expected to be realized within 12 months of the operating from the reporting date. D. It is cash or cash equivalent. Examples for current asset as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013 Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013 include the following. A. Current investments. B. Inventories. C. Trade receivables. D. Cash and cash equivalent. E. Short-term loans and advances. F. Other current assets. Here inventories include raw material, semi-finished goods and finished goods in a manufacturing concern. If it is a trading concern, inventories include finished goods. We need to understand that any item included under the head current assets while undertaking credit appraisal should satisfy two conditions. One, it should be a part of operating cycle, and two, it should be convertible into cash within the operating cycle period, however, not exceeding 12 months. If any one of the above conditions is not satisfied, such items need to be classified under non-current assets. Let us understand the reasons for complying with the above two conditions. Banks extend working capital finance based on the projected investment in current assets. If any items which is not a part of the operating cycle is included under the current assets, it defeats the purpose for which working capital finance is extended. Working capital finance is extended to enable the business entity engaged in manufacturing activity to purchase raw materials, convert them into finished goods, and sell the same in the market either on cash basis or by extending credit period. In case of a trading firm, it is for the purchase of finished goods and sell the same in the market either on cash basis or by extending credit period. Business entities make investment in equity bonds, debentures, etc., with the intention of selling them within a period of 12 months, known as available for sale, and classifies them under as current investment. They are convertible into cash within a period of 12 months. However, they are not part of operating cycle. If the current investment is classified as current assets while carrying out credit appraisal, it means that banks are permitting utilization of working capital finance for investment in market, which is nothing but diversion of working capital finance. Similarly, there are items which are part of the operating cycle but not convertible into cash in the next 12 months. Examples are obsolete or non-moving stock of materials, trade debtors aged more than 12 months, etc. Banks generally classify trade debtors more than 6 months old as non-current assets. Now, which are all the items which will come under current assets while doing credit appraisal, and which are all the items which come under non-current assets, and their reasons for classifying them as current assets and non-current assets are mentioned here. Cash. Cash is convertible. Raw materials, part of the operating cycle. Semi-finished goods, part of the operating cycle. Finished goods, part of the operating cycle. Trade debtors, part of the operating cycle. Advance paid to suppliers of raw materials, part of the operating cycle. Advance tax paid. Business entity sells products and generates profit on every sale made. Tax need to be paid on profit. Hence, advance tax paid is a part of the operating cycle. Short-term loans to employees at shop floor level. Shop floor employees, their services are utilized by the business entity to produce products. So that also becomes a part of the operating cycle and classified as current assets. Let us now go to the non-current assets. Current investment, it is not a part of the operating cycle. Non-moving stock, not convertible into cash in the next 12 months. Trade debtors aged more than 6 months, not convertible into cash in 12 months. Short-term loans to promoters, group firms, etc., not a part of the operating cycle. Advance paid to suppliers of capital goods, that is, advance made for purchase of capital assets such as machinery, land, building, etc. They are also not part of the operating cycle. With this, we have understood what are all the items that need to be picked up from the current assets balance sheet and then classify them either as current assets and non-current assets. Thank you all. I shall come out with such a small video on lending topics. Subscribe to my channel and click the like button. Follow me on Facebook as well.